How to skyrocket the success of your business, your coaching business, by reprogramming your mind for success. Let me say that again. How to skyrocket the success of your coaching business by reprogramming your mind for success. Look, if you know that you are trying to grow your coaching business right now, maybe you are wanting to move full time into your passion driven coaching business, but right now are balancing it alongside a day job. Or maybe you've currently got your coaching business, it's going seemingly well, but you can feel that it's plateaued and you just can't quite put your finger on what is causing it, then you want to listen to what I've got to say in this video, because I'm going to speak to you in a way that's going to help you to begin to diagnose exactly what's going wrong. Because oftentimes, right, we don't recognize, especially as coaches, when we're so strategy focused, we don't recognize when our very own mindset is holding us back. And that's what's going to be the topic of this conversation. So what I want you to do, let me know. Welcome to another Business Booster live stream, and let me know where you are tuning in from. I am Jor'EL. I'm your host, and every single week in this group, we have what's called a Business Booster live stream, and it's designed to give you the ability to pinpoint what's going wrong inside your business and to help you to identify what you need to start changing in order to begin to get the success that you want. Okay, it's all about helping you to grow your coaching business and take it to the next level. Or if you're currently dabbling, right, you've got a passion driven business but you've got a day job as well, showing you how you can finally go full time in that passion driven business. So let me know where you are right now. If you're watching live, please comment hashtag live below, and if you're watching via replay, again comment hashtag replay. And if you're watching live, please feel free to ask any questions that may come up for you during this Business Booster live stream. I won't necessarily answer them during the live stream, but what I will do is take some time out afterwards to answer those questions. So any questions you want answering, leave them in the comments down below. All right, so why is this subject so dear to my heart? Well, I've been coaching now for about 5 years. Okay. And one of the things that I have realized in all the people that I've helped and got success with, that it was never really to do with the strategy. Okay. Because once you get the strategy, it enables you to implement it, right? However, the thing that was always underlying everything that was going wrong inside a potential client's business always was linked to the mindset. And even when I look back on my own journey, there was times where I procrastinated, times where I delayed. I know it took me nearly a year and a half, okay, to even begin to launch my very first thing. And now looking back on it, I realized that there were so many different fears that were underlying that. Maybe you can resonate. If you're in a position right now where you have an offer or a new offer that you want to bring to the market, right? But you've made the process so complicated funnels, or you feel that you have to have a website, or you feel that you have to do all these different things like master YouTube, or master Facebook, or master ClickFunnels advertising, whatever it is that you are adding into the midst to make this process overly complicated. When I did that, I realized that it was coming and stemming from a fear of success. Right now, it's the craziest thing to think that we would be fearful of success, right? Because we want to do well. In our minds, in our conscious minds at least, we are telling ourselves that we want to achieve this result. We want to give our family and our loved ones the things that they desire. We want to be able to provide that lifestyle for them. But for some reason, things are not working out. And oftentimes, as I've said, I find that it's because there's a self-sabotage mechanism going on in stealth mode. And what do I mean by that? I mean that it's happening and you don't even realize it's happening. And that's the worst, okay? When something's going wrong and you don't even realize that it's going wrong. And as I go on to show you later, how you are doing things that are seemingly good, right? And this is the scariest of it all. You are partaking in actions that are seamlessly good. For example, you may be building a complicated sales funnel. You know, you want to have this funnel, you want to have it all automated. And in your mind, you're telling yourself you're doing this because you want it to be a smoother process for yourself. You want to give your clients a great experience. And as a result, this is necessary. But as we're going to find out later, actually, it's not necessary. In fact, is stemming from a fear that's inside you, but is showing up as something nice and shiny. And this will have you barking up the wrong tree forever and a day. Okay, so it's really, really important that you begin to tap into that psyche and begin to really recognize what it is that's holding you back. And realizing this is the key, right? Realizing that in order to be a awesome coach, a coach that makes great transformation in the world, a coach that is looked as one of the go-to people in their field, okay, a coach that has the ability to transform people's lives and through processes. In order to be that type of coach, you need to have strategy, but you also need to have mindset. Okay. And that's one of the things that I have recognized in my history of coaching. Okay. And that's one of the things that I work very diligently with my potential clients, because I recognize that if the mindset is not there, you can have as much strategy as you could possibly have, it's not going to get done. Okay, because something's going to creep in, procrastination or fear or something of that sort. Okay, so it's really, really important that you understand that you need both. And it wasn't until I recognized, okay, that I needed both and I got both, I began to really look at what my process is when I was initially starting out. And it took me a year and a half just to try and get something to market. When I realized that everything I was doing was just unnecessary and it was all coming from a place of fear, okay, a fear of failure and a fear of success. When I really looked at that and began to shift my mindset and my perspective, that's when I really took off. That's when I was able to grow my business, okay, to 30K in just 8 weeks, and how I was able to transition directly into my passion driven business full time. And now have been full time for the last 5 years, and I'm living life on my own terms. Maybe that's what you want right now, the ability to live life on your own terms, okay? Not to have to be careful with money, just to do the things that you want to do, to provide the lifestyle that you want for your family when you want to, and not have any other things get in the way of you being able to do that. Well, we're going to dive into this Business Booster live stream, and I'm going to share with you how to do that. Now, for those of you that know that you need some support, you know that mindset could be something that's sabotaging you. You've been trying to do things in your business to take your business to the next level or to go full time in your passion driven business, but for some reason you've not been able to do that to this point. I'm going to give you the opportunity to work with me at the end, okay, for us to have a call together where I'm going to share with you exactly what's going wrong with you in your business. I'm going to be that extra pair of eyes that's going to help you to pinpoint what's going wrong, and to also give you a great game plan and strategy to be able to move you to that next level. And if it is mindset stuff, show you how we can address that mindset and move it into a stage where it's working for you as opposed to working against you. Okay, and as I said, I'll share that with you later on. But for now, let's dive into this very, very juicy topic, because I've got some key information to share and also a great surprise for you at the end, so make sure you stick around. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to share my screen, because as I know, I've been told by you guys that some of you are visual, right? And so some of you need to see the screen in order to, be able to take it in. And I want to make sure that people are able to get results in whatever way, shape or form that sees fit. So you should see my screen right now. And let's dive straight into this juicy topic. By the way, before we get in, let me know, message below if any of this is resonating with you. If you are potentially thinking that right now your mindset could be something that's holding you back. If you're trying to grow your business and you've tried everything and you just can't put your finger on why you're not making the sales that you want, you're not charging the price point that you want, you don't have customers coming into your business regularly, okay, you don't get the results that you are desiring from your clients. Potentially you ain't able to grow your own group coaching program. You're stuck working one-to-one. Like if you're having to be careful with money. If any of these things are resonating with you, then just drop resonate below, because again, these are key indicators, especially if you can't pinpoint what's going on and you've tried all the strategy under the sun. It's showing you that mindset could be one of the things that are holding you back. All right, so where are you now? Maybe you're struggling to grow your business and have tried everything but cannot put your finger on what's really going wrong. Maybe you have wanted to go full time or hit your next financial goal for a while, but you find yourself month after month unable to move forward. Maybe you are one of the biggest procrastinators, right? Or the fear of stepping outside of your comfort zone is causing you to play small. I see this one showing up a lot. People playing small. Okay, and the crazy thing about it is that they don't even recognize that they're playing small. Let me give you a classic example, working one-to-one. Okay, if you're working one-to-one, as we're going to go on to see, it's a secret sabotager of your business. It's forcing you to play small, and it's making the likelihood of the fear of success as being one of the probabilities of it holding you back from achieving your goal, right? Because if you become successful and you're working one-on-one, you're going to create another trap for yourself. Okay, and this is how it can be a secret sabotager. Maybe you know that you need to invest to grow your business, but something is stopping you from investing, and so you are stuck in a vicious cycle. Right now, working from a lack perspective, a mindset of lack, this kicks people in the balls, as it were, time and time again. Because if you don't invest in yourself to help you to grow your business, if you don't get the help you need to push you out of your comfort zone, then you are going to continuously play small. And when you're playing small, there's no room for growth. The only thing that can happen is the business will fold. And if the business folds, then everything is disrupted, right? And so if you know that you've got a lack mindset, then it's time for that to upgrade. And I've got something later on that will help you to upgrade that. Maybe you want to feel confident in your abilities as a coach, but you find yourself doubting yourself time and time again. Or maybe you're shying away from the activities that you know you have to do to grow your business to the next level. Now, what do I mean by that, right? Well, oftentimes we can have what's called the imposter syndrome. But the imposter syndrome can show up in many, many different ways, and it can cause us to doubt ourselves. It can cause us to not be productive in our businesses, cause us to procrastinate. And as a result, it's something that stops us from doing the key activities that we know we have to do in our business. For example, reaching out to people just to have a conversation, let's say, about your product or service. But for some reason, I see it happen time and time again. People get caught by that imposter syndrome. And so it stops them from having the confidence that they need through fear of doubting themselves or doubting their products or their service to really blow the trumpet that they should be blowing about how good their products are or services to someone else. Or maybe the inability to grow your business is really starting to take a toll on your family. And what do I mean by this? Maybe you're feeling guilty that you're not able to provide the exact lifestyle that you want. Let's say maybe for your children, your loved ones, your partner. Okay. Maybe you want to be able to go on holidays. Okay. Maybe you want to be able to buy the latest things, but you've constantly got to be careful with money. And I want to be very, very clear here. It doesn't mean that you are broke. Okay. It means that you're having to be careful with money. You're having to think twice about whether or not you can get the new car, or whether or not you can get the new laptop, or maybe you need to buy the new car and then save for the new laptop, as opposed to just being able to make the investments in the things that you know you need, as that will then help to improve the experience and life for not only yourself, but for your loved ones as well. Maybe it's a cash flow issue, right? If you've not got regular money coming into your business, or you've not got a regular steady flow of clients, and again, your mindset will hold you back from being able to create a steady stream of clients into your business, then maybe you don't have a good cash flow. And if you don't have a good cash flow, then again, this will cause stress and strain on the family dynamic, okay? Just even in yourself, the fear, as I said, of feeling guilty, okay, or when you go to bed at night, constantly thinking about things over and over and over again in your head, that creates stress and is playing a toll and wreaking havoc on your health. All of these things have a knock-on effect. And it's really important to get to the foundation of where this is coming from. And most times, as I've said in my experience, I find it's happening because of the mindset, the programs that we have running, okay, the things that we are telling ourselves, which don't even have any proof of being true. Imagine telling yourself that the sky's pink. I mean, it sounds absurd, right? But this is what um, the fear or the underlying mindset programs, the negative programs we have running, is feeding us. It's feeding us something that isn't even real. Why? Because it's future based. And when something's future based, it means that you are not in the presence. And it's literally like convincing yourself that the sky is pink. We know that it's not true, but we're yet still convincing ourselves of that. So where do you want to be? Okay, maybe you want to feel absolutely confident about your business, to know that you have a business that you can rely on, a business that's providing the lifestyle that you desire for you and your family and your loved ones, a business that you can be proud of, not only because of what it's doing for you and your family, but the transformation that it's creating in the world. Okay, maybe you want to be able to make a clear distinction about where to go next with your business. I see this so much. Can we talk for a moment, right? Where I've had clients make very clear decisions about what it is that they want. Okay, they say that this is the thing that they're going to do, and they say in one breath, and then instantly in another breath, they start changing their mind. Okay, and they start undermining the thing that they've clearly said that they want to do, or the thing that they need to do, right? For example, if you're not bringing money into your business and you've tried everything, okay, maybe you've tried ads, maybe you've tried YouTube ads, Facebook ads, complicated funnels, maybe you've tried direct messaging, whatever way you've tried to bring money into your business, if it's not working, then continually doing the same thing over and over again, that is not the right way to go. And it has something to do with the mindset. Because maybe the next thing that you need to do is make the investment in order to get the support that you need. Okay. And if you know that's what it is, then you need to be clear about that and create a plan as to how you're going to make that happen. Maybe you want to stop second guessing yourself and be confident about selling your product or service. You should be able to meet someone in the street and have a conversation with them, and that conversation transpire into them potentially being a client. Okay, you should be able to share what you do with your family and friends without necessarily fear of feeling like you are going to be alienating them, right? Or that they are going to think that you're boasting. Okay, and second guessing yourself is like one of the worst things that you could do, okay, because it creates insecurity, okay, and it stops the steady flow of energy. I want to share a story with you about me and how I second guessed myself and how it caused me a world of pain. Now, some of you may be familiar with my story, some of you may not. However, my plan A before becoming a coach, and now I realize that actually everything has worked for my favor because I couldn't see myself doing anything other than coaching. And as they say, hindsight, right? It can really give you perspective. But my plan A was that I wanted to perform. Okay, I wanted to be on stage. I wanted to be in the West End. I wanted to sing, and I wanted to share my gifts with the world in that particular medium. However, I had a life-changing injury that stopped me from being able to do that. And effectively, I was a very keen gymnast, very, very active as I was a child. And I wanted to do a double back somersault. I don't know if you know this. I don't know if any of you've watched Simone Biles, but basically what happens is it's where you turn a somersault in the air twice and you are meant to land on your feet. So I went and I took off to do this the very first time that I went. And I remember going up into the air with all the conviction. I had my mindset that I was going to do 2 somersaults in the air. But what happened as I went mid flight, I then suddenly got struck by fear and I started doubting myself. And rather than staying committed to what the plan was, I chickened out mid flight. And as a result, I landed straight onto my head and my neck. And in that moment, experienced a feeling of paralysis, which transpired in me ending up in a cast for 18 months. Okay, imagine me, keen gymnast, performing to now not even being able to go on stage, right? How that would have felt. And all of that happened because I did not commit and I second guessed that moment. And how many times are you doing that? How many times are you second guessing the moment? And how is that showing up? What havoc is that wreaking in your business? Okay, maybe you want to be able to charge what you are worth with conviction. If you want to move into a passion driven business full time, you have to be able to charge what you are worth. Okay, charging by the hour, charging low prices. Again, this is a mindset pattern that is not serving you. Maybe you want to move forward without fear. Maybe you can fear the fear in you. You know, you go to do something and the fear shows up, and then you talk yourself out of doing what you know you need to do. Maybe you want to be bringing a consistent revenue stream into your business every single month. How would that make you feel if you were bringing in consistent money into your business every single month? And maybe you want your business to soar so you can provide everything for your loved ones. Again, maybe you just don't want to have to be careful with money anymore and all the stress that that brings. You just want to feel worthy and you want to feel successful. All right, so some things that you have to be aware of, okay? You're not going to necessarily fix these mindset things completely by watching this training, okay? But it's very important that you are aware of what's going on so you can start to focus on what's really holding you back. Okay, and this is something that I work a lot on with my clients and the people that I work with. Another thing for you to realize is that your fear will often show up as something else. I call it, if fear was an animal, it would be a butterfly. And why do I say that? Well, fear, when you are aware of it, you can face it full on, right? You can actually do things to try and overcome this fear. But our brain is very, very clever. And when it wants to protect you, it will go through any means necessary to make that happen. Okay, so sometimes what it will do to protect you from doing the thing that you're fearful of, it will move and morph into making you do something that you think is the right thing to be doing, when really it's just a compensation for the thing that you should be doing, and that's why you're not getting the result. Let me give you a classic example. Let's say you are starting out in your business, okay, or you want to transition into your business, and you don't necessarily have lots of money to pump into ads straight away. Okay, so one of the things that you may need to do is you may need to use an organic approach. Now, lots of people claim that they hate organic, right? And that organic isn't the right way. And there's this big thing about attraction marketing. And what does attraction marketing do? It basically means that you put up pretty pictures, okay, you put out some posts and some content, and then you sit there hoping that it's going to attract people into your business. Let me tell you something about that. When you're starting out in your business, people do not know who you are. There are other big brands out there that you are competing with in your industry. And as I've said it time and time again, I don't mean competition as in there's not enough to go round. What I mean is that within this saturated digital landscape that we live in, you have to put forward a strong justification as to why your product or service is the best product for your potential client, right? I think you'll agree with me on that one. However, there are other brands out there that are putting out equally as strong justifications. But not only that, these brands have tons of money to pump in to their advertising. Hence why they can do what's deemed attraction marketing, right? They can put 10K a day, £10,000 a day into ads, and they can allow the ads to reject all the people that ain't going to buy and to attract them the ones that will. But it costs them 10K a day. Another thing to work out, even the greats, the people like Tony Robbins, right? They have people like affiliate marketers on their side going out and doing the groundwork, okay, bringing people in and engaging them in their business because they understand nothing beats word of mouth. Okay, so now if you are telling yourself that you are above, let's say, organic marketing, or organic marketing is icky and you don't like the idea of reaching out to people, so what you do is then you focus, the fear is around the fear of rejection, right? Because if you reach out to someone and someone says no, they don't want your service, then for some reason we think that's the worst thing in the world, right? And we feel some form of rejection. And no, rejection isn't the nicest thing to feel. But I mean, what's the worst that happened? All that someone said was no, let's say, right? But what we do, because there's that fear around this process, which will get you results if you apply it properly, we focus in on what seems like the right thing to do, which is to create the complicated funnel. Some of us even dive into like investing in ads too early. And as a result, we burn a hole in our pocket. We don't get clients coming into our business. And what's the reality of that? You're stuck in your day job. That's right. You're stuck in your day job. And it's all because there's a fear around communicating in an honest and open way about your product or service. So that's what I mean about fear showing up as a butterfly. And you need to be honest with yourself right now, because the ego is going to be so tempted to step in and shield you from your reality. This is going to be one of the times where you really need to be honest with yourself and really dive into the mindset things that are going on, because it's sometimes hard to admit these things about ourselves, to admit that we're scared, but it's nothing to be ashamed of. Okay, it's something that you have to acknowledge and face it dead on, and then look at how do you begin to reprogram the mind to ensure that now you can move forward in a more positive way. But that requires honesty, and it's not honesty with me or not honesty with anybody else. It's about being honest with yourself. Let me know if any of this is resonating. Just comment below. If you have any questions, again, put your questions below. Just to remind you that I am streaming from StreamYard, so you might need to connect yourself to StreamYard. It will tell you how to do that somewhere around this video. But let me know if this is resonating for you in any way, shape, or form. All right, so why is fear a good thing? I think it's very important to address the fact that fear isn't a bad thing, right? Fear is a good thing because it's something that's hardwired into our brain. It's designed to keep us safe. The reptilian part of our brain, it has fear locked in. And the reason was because we needed to escape from danger. Okay, when we weren't living in our comfortable houses, we weren't thinking about getting the new Porsche or the new Rolls Royce. We were living in the deep, dark terrain. We needed to be alert. We needed to be agile. We needed to be able to run away from immediate danger. Okay, and so the mechanism is designed to look out for danger, and it's designed to keep you safe, and is not, as a emotion or a feeling, a bad thing. Okay, the problem arises when your nervous system does not know how to go back to its equilibrium. And what do I mean by that? Well, let's say you hear a loud noise. Okay, your whole body mobilizes, okay, to help you to escape from danger. But then what should happen is, once you look around and you realize that there is no immediate threat, all your physiology should settle back down again, back to its equilibrium. But for some reason, what often happens is that the nervous system, for some reason, is constantly being triggered. Okay, and so now it keeps actively looking for things for you to be fearful of. Okay, and this can often be a form of learnt behavior. So it could be something that you learned from your parents, like, for example, the negative money pattern that you have. Maybe you grew up with your parents saying to you that money doesn't grow on trees. Okay, or you grew up in a household where there always seemed to be a lack around money, and so now you've inherited that, because as kids, we're sponges. We soak up what we're exposed to, right? Or maybe a fearful situation happened, okay, that was out of your control, and now, as a compensation to that, your brain is in a state of overdrive trying to protect you. And what we have to recognize is, as I talked to you about fear being the butterfly, it won't be fearful of that specific thing. Even if you felt that you've dealt with it, whatever it may be, you've dealt with it, you may have had counseling, you feel like you've put it to bed. Sometimes it's showing up in different things, and it's just a way for that fear that isn't truly healed to resurface and express itself. We have to recognize that everything is energy. Okay, and that fear is an energy, and it's looking for a way to express itself. And if you're trying to grow a business right now, it will have ample things, okay, for it to show up and manifest inside your business. And we're going to look at that. But what you have to recognize as a coach, okay, most importantly, when you are in your coaching business, is really work on trying to stay present. Okay, stay present with the information that you have, and don't allow your brain to run away with itself. As we all know, fear is an acronym for false evidence appearing real. Okay, fear is a future-based situation, it's future-based state of mind. Okay, and it's thinking about all the things that could potentially go wrong. But while you're thinking about all the things that could potentially go wrong and spending lots and lots of time mitigating against all these things that could potentially go wrong, what you're not recognizing is that it's got you stuck, and it's got you held back. And sometimes the best way, as they say, is to act in spite of fear, because you will never know the outcome until you try. Right? You will never know the outcome until you try, no matter how sophisticated your brain is and how many scenarios it tries to work out and how much risk analysis you try to do. You will never know the true outcome until you actually go out there and try. So, when you are thinking about this, one of the things that you should constantly be asking yourself, especially if you, let's say, one of the things I found, which is really, really strange, was that it took me a long time to get my email marketing off the ground. Okay, for some reason, I just wouldn't just write the email and send it out. I would write the email. I would check the email. I would triple check the email. I would run it through spell check. I would then put it through Grammarly. I'll then read it again and say that it wasn't good enough or insightful enough, and then spend all those hours on this one email, and then tell myself it wasn't good enough and not send it out anyway. How much time, when I think about how much time I'd wasted, and all the things that I was thinking about, like, people wouldn't see it as value, people would judge me or doubt my abilities based on what I've written. All of that was just fear, because the reality of it was that when I sent it out, sometimes people don't even see it, right? If you know anything about email marketing, sometimes people ain't going to see it. Again, you are only as good as your last email. So you talk about one subject today, your next email talks about a different subject. Different things will resonate with different people. I can't be inside everybody's mind or everybody's head, but in that moment, I try to be. And that had me stuck for ages and was not bringing money into my business. Okay, because when you have a good email marketing campaign that follows up with everything that you're doing, it's a good way to re-engage and keep money flowing into your business. All right, so let's talk about fear of rejection. How is it showing up in your business? And I want you to begin to recognize these traits, because when you begin to recognize these traits, if you can feel that you have some resonance with these, then this is giving you an insight into what's going on in your mindset that is holding your business back. Okay, so it may show up in regards to you reaching out to your clients. Maybe you have a system for reaching out. I talked about organic earlier. Maybe you know that you should be reaching out to clients and starting a conversation, right? Just having a conversation. It's not about being hard selling inside Messenger. That's not what it's about. It's about meeting people, being genuine, connecting with them. And if it transpires out of a good connection that you could potentially help them with your service, then a discussion about that should be had too, right? So we know that this is how it should be. But for some reason, the fear of rejection stops you from doing that very thing. Now, if you're not comfortable by talking to people, whether it be someone you bump into the street, someone you bump into the networking event, someone you bump into Messenger, someone commenting on your post, if you're not courageous about following up with those opportunities, you are shortchanging yourself. This is why you haven't got a consistent flow in your business. Because let me break it to you guys. I've got to be totally real with you. No one is going to come and tell you, here's my money, I want to work with you. Okay, unless you get a referral, but even then you have to do some form of sales call. It's very, very rare unless you are a massive brand and you've done a massive nurturing situation that you're going to just have someone come up to you and give you their money. Okay, so you need to be reaching out to clients. And if you don't have a lot of money in the beginning to put into ads, then you need to do it the organic way. All right, so fear of rejection will have you not reaching out to clients. And you will say things like, I don't like selling. Or you will say things like, um, attraction marketing is what I want to do. I don't want to reach out to people in direct messenger, or you'll say direct messenger is icky, or you'll feel that you are above reaching out to people. But the reality of it is, if you've tried attraction marketing where you've done the kumbaya and just wait for people to come to you, and you've not tried to create any opportunities, you may get some sales here and there. But if you want to build some consistency in your business and then be able to grow your business, it's not going to be enough unless you start reaching out. Maybe fear of rejection is showing up with you not selling your service, okay, underselling what you are doing, not taking the opportunity to share what you're doing for fear that someone may judge you, or for fear that someone may think that you're being big headed. Okay, so if you're not selling your service, it's down to a fear of rejection. Maybe you are not making what you do known in a big, bold way. Maybe you're not advertising it on your Facebook profile. If you've not got your what your product or service is on your Facebook product and Facebook cover photo, let's say, and a way for people to connect with you, then you are missing a trick, and this is coming from a fear of rejection. If you are stuck hiding behind a business page, if you've got a business page and you're thinking, oh, I'm going to use my business page for business, wake up call, people. Facebook does not favor the business page. The algorithm doesn't push the business page. And so I often hear a lot of people having some angst about showcasing what they do on their personal profile, because they say to themselves, this is all about my friends and my family. But the reality of it is, your friends and your family you can connect with through many other means. But if you're serious about using social media to grow your business, then you need to be tapping into your profile. And the fear will stop you from doing that. Maybe you've got fear about booking sales calls, and so you just don't book them. Okay, or the moment that you feel a little objection coming your way, you just terminate the call. A lot of times I see people communicating in Messenger, and just because the messenger conversation feels a little bit cold, i.e., the person isn't flowing and telling you their full life story, it's depicted as, this person doesn't want to hear what I've got to say. This person doesn't want to connect with me. And so as a result, people exit the conversation. But why would you do that? Okay, because you need to be connecting with people in a way that enables them to know, like, and trust you a bit. And so sometimes it's going to be a bit slow, but then you ask more questions and people open up, and then you build a great relationship. Okay, so just because you feel something, and oftentimes what I find really interesting is people will ask a question and the person will literally just answer the question that the person asked. And it's being perceived as cold and not wanting to hear what I've got to offer. Let me tell you, that's just fear of rejection showing up for you. Again, handling objections, as I've just said. If you feel an objection coming your way, okay, fear of rejection will cause you to shrink and just to give up. But really, as a coach, what should we be doing? We should be standing for our clients' transformations, right? And so sometimes they just need you to help them to handle that objection so they can make the right informed decision. Okay. And another thing is the different statements that you make, right? Organic does not work. I don't like sales. I want people to come to me. All of these statements are just fear of rejection if you are not in a position where you can put money into advertising and attract people to you via ads. All right, let's look at the fear of success. All right, because the fear of success will have you playing small. And one of the ways that it does that is by making you not showcase yourself or what it is that you do, because you feel like you will be bragging. Okay. And so as a result, you don't talk about your business, or you don't post about your business, or you don't make a call to action, right? And all of this is just the fear of success, because you feel that by being successful, you'll be judged. And again, where does this stem from? It could be stemmed from how you've seen other successful people be criticized, maybe by family members or people that you know. Okay. And so that's playing havoc in the back of your mind. And maybe it again makes you play small because you don't want to alienate others, right? You want to do well, but you don't want other people to feel inferior to what you're doing. And so as a result, the fear of success has you playing small. Maybe you keep your goals low, right? Maybe you're just working one on one right now. Maybe you're just charging by the hour. Maybe you're not charging what you are worth. Okay. And you keep your goals low because if you keep it low, then it means that you won't have to be challenged. Because if you are challenged and it suddenly brings in some element of success, the question is, how would you cope? Another thing to think about, maybe you've got a family right now and you've got young kids, or a partner, a spouse, and if your business takes off, another thing that could be in the back of the mind is, will I have enough time to be able to fulfill? Right? So that can be an indicator that your business is not set up in the correct way. Maybe you need to look at how you are delivering your service. Right? Can you create a one-to-many scenario, create a hybrid, a group program, but a group program that gets your clients the results? Because lots of people say, I don't want to do a group program because I like the one-on-one personalized feel. Now, think about how absurd that thinking is. Okay, it seems very logical, but if you are saying that you only want to work one on one because you like the personalized feel, you are instantly putting a cap on how many people you can serve with your business. All right. And so, what you now need to do and recognize is, by putting that cap on that business, or on how many people you can serve, it's going to stop you from growing your business in the long term, because you don't have the infrastructure to be able to take the influx of clientele. Okay, procrastination, fear of success will have you procrastinating. Okay, you stall just enough to let the opportunity pass. Okay, I witnessed this in myself many moons ago. There was an opportunity for me to go out there to a good audience of people. And I ummed and I ahed and I ummed and I ahed and I ummed and I ahed to the point where the deadline passed, and it just meant that, oh well, I missed out. But actually, now looking back at it, that was all created by my mind and the fear of success. Perfectionism is another way that fear of success will show up in your life. If you're a perfectionist, know that it's down to fear. And perfection isn't a bad thing, but it is if it's stopping you, and something that should have taken you weeks or months is now taking you months and years, then perfectionism is getting in your way, and there's something deeper behind that. Maybe quitting. Okay, how many times have you quit on an idea? How many times have you quit on that launch? How many times have you quit because you launched your business and you didn't get the response that you wanted, and so you parked that and now are reinventing something new? Okay, it doesn't mean that you need to reinvent something new. It could mean that the fear of success, okay, is kicking in, and so you're always quitting just as you are on the verge of getting your breakthrough. There's also a self-destructiveness that comes with that, right? And sometimes we use different things to mask our fear of success. Okay, it can be substance. If that's going on for you, that's something to be aware of. Drinking in unsociable times, different things like this can also be masking um, tools for the fear of success. So now let's look at another classic, the fear of failure. Okay, again, a subconscious thing that's going on inside your mind. And please let me know if any of this is resonating with you, if you can feel any of these things that I'm saying, because what I want to do is bring your awareness to the fact that it's your mindset that's holding you back. And when you begin to do that, it helps you to realize that it's not just focusing on strategy. You can get the best strategy in the world, but if you haven't got the balance between the mindset, it's what's going to cause you to fall down. So, are you believing that you don't have the skills or the knowledge to achieve something? This is the fear of failure, right? Because whenever I ask someone about, why are they playing small, and I say to them, the very first thing I say is, have you ever worked with anyone? And 9 times out of 10, they've worked with people. And I said, well, what do they say to you once they're working with you? And they tell me all the flowing reviews that they get, but yet still in the back of their mind, they're saying that they don't have the skills to achieve what it is that they want to achieve in their business. Okay, feeling like you won't be able to achieve your goals, again, stemming from the fear of failure. Knowing that it's a future based thing, you have to try. If you don't try, you will never know. Okay, procrastinating or adding too much complication is also a fear of failure, to the point where it affects your ability to finish on time. Our brain, as I said, will sharp as a butterfly, will continue to play tricks on us. And as a result, we will continue to add the amounting of things that we need to do to the point where we get nothing done. Okay, telling yourself that you'll probably fail, so you keep your expectations low. Again, future based, stay present in the moment. Okay, you will not know the outcome. Ask yourself, what's the worst that can happen? Because if you get any fear, if you fail, it's feedback, right? So many people have failed. I've failed so many times, okay? Failed trying lots of different things. It wasn't until I got to the roots of what was really going on, which was just to have conversations with people. I realized I wasn't having conversations with people. I was hiding behind um, adverts, and I was hiding behind webinars. And I wasn't just talking about my business. When I got in and started communicating, everything shifted. All right. Underestimating your own abilities to avoid feeling let down. Okay. So you downplay everything because if you talk it up too much, then suppose it fails. But the fact of the matter is when you speak, you bring things into fruition. Okay, it sets something in you which makes you have to move to that next level. It helps you to grow your skills. And the beauty of having a brand is that it gives you the ability, especially if you have the right kind of brand, as you grow and you deepen in understanding and knowledge, because growing and learning is a constant life journey. What you should be able to do is grow and still be able to fit within your brand and still be able to fit within your mission. Okay, worrying that imperfection or shortcomings will make your clients feel disappointed. Things will go wrong. Okay, if I had that fear, we wouldn't be having this right now because the amount of things that I'm having to put together in order to make sure that I can stream this live, there's a lot of tech and stuff that's going on behind this. And I had to do a lot of research earlier on for the things that I wanted to do. And so if I allowed the fact that someone could be disappointed to step in the way, I wouldn't do anything. And as a result, I'll be robbing those of you that are watching either live or via the replay of this opportunity. Okay, worrying that you will disappoint your clients. The main thing is if you are in good communication with your clients and you build up a good communication channel and you have open communication, there will never be a situation where you can disappoint your client because you will find a way together to get the result. Okay, so it's all about good communication when you're in your business and really thinking about how you can best serve your clients. And again, this will be something around how your business is set up. Okay, if you're thinking that you will disappoint your clients, either it means that you don't have enough time to dedicate, and therefore, as a result, you're playing small, and this is where you'll think that you will disappoint your clients, or it means that you haven't got the right infrastructure in place to give them the level of support that they need. Okay, because most times out of 10, you have the information, it's just that they don't have the right channel to be able to ask you what they require at the time that they need it. And the last one I want to look at is imposter syndrome. Okay, how is this showing up inside your business? Because imposter syndrome is the feeling of feeling inadequate in your professional status, even though you have more than enough expertise and experience in a certain field, right? So maybe you also tell yourself that, feeling like your success is just impossible. It's a sign of imposter syndrome if you're having those thoughts. If you're feeling incompetent despite demonstrating competency, if you take a step back and just look at what you've achieved so far, okay, you'll realize that you are more than competent. But we tell ourselves we need to know more and more and more. But again, this is also down to how you structure your business. Because remember, you need to create a business that gives you the room to grow. You need to be growing too in your business. You can't be the finished article. Because if you are the finished article, then you're going to blow your business up because you will become bored. So our business needs to give us the ability to grow. Okay. And also you need to have a process for doing things. So many times we don't have a systematized process, you know? And how do you make a cake? You get a recipe and you look through the recipe and you make a cake, right? And you can give that recipe to umpteen numbers of people and they will make practically the same cake. Okay. Now, when you are coaching, you need to make sure you have your specific recipe of doing something. And if you don't have that recipe, that's where this imposter syndrome will kick in because you don't really have something which you can try. You don't really know the exact process you're going to take people through. And so, therefore, you end up telling yourself you don't know anything. Actually, it's just because you can't have the entire process visible in your head all at once. But when you bring each component out and you put it down on a piece of paper and then you organize it in a fashion that gives you a process, you will suddenly realize how much you actually do know. And if you want to know how to do that, just comment below process. I've got other trainings that show you how to go about doing that. Right, fear of not meeting another person's expectations. All right, now the fact of the matter is that this one is stemmed and deeply rooted in imposter syndrome. Okay, because you don't even know what the other person's expectations are. Right. And when you are creating your business, you need to be very clear around the parameters so that people are clear on what they are going to receive. Because if you make that very clear, then the expectations can't surpass that. But again, if you don't have the right structure in your business, then you are not able to set those expectations. And so as a result, people are just constantly demanding more and more and more, which then causes you to feel more and more and more small, right? So again, a lot of this can be subsided when you start really thinking about the way that you are delivering your service. Maybe feeling like past successes and hard work were only due to luck. How many times do we do this to ourselves? That was just lucky. Nothing's due to luck. Okay, even if you showed up and you figured it out, that's a learnt experience. And if you learn that experience, it means that you can recreate that experience. So, what do you need to do? You need to have debriefs. Okay, if you've gone through something, sit down and journal about it at the end so you can begin to see what the lessons were, what you learned, and what you can implement again in the future. If you're not doing that, then you don't again have the process, and so you turn around and say to yourself, it was due to luck. You know, feeling capable of performing at the same level every single time. You're not a robot. And that's what the key of staying present is about. Having a clear system, okay, making sure that you know at what stage you're taking your group of clients through, because I love working one to many, okay, and understanding that the different dynamics between you and your clients will bring different things up and being present enough to work with that. And this is why it's always good to get feedback. You know, if you're feeling uncomfortable with receiving praise or congratulations, again, this is down to imposter syndrome. You should be able to tell yourself when you are doing good. Celebrate the small wins, right? If you've been in business for a while and you weren't getting any clients and you shifted something and you now are starting to have conversations, that's something to be celebrated. Okay, and then if you move on to get clients coming in, that's the next stage to be celebrated. But you've got to acknowledge each part of that success, because if you're waiting for that big win, okay, you know, that 20K per month in your bank, and you don't acknowledge the steps on the way, you will not have the motivation to keep the race going. Okay, and remember, business is a short, medium, and long term game. And so you've got to make sure that you are acknowledging the steps along that journey. You know, feeling disappointed over current accomplishments. You accomplished something, but you don't think you did good enough. Where is that coming from? It's coming from the imposter syndrome. If that's feeling showing up in your life, then it's the imposter syndrome that's playing. Feeling doubtful of your successes. Again, if that's showing up in your life, this is coming from the imposter syndrome. And lastly, feeling constant pressure to achieve or to be better than before. Now, it's always good to want to raise your game, okay? But it's about growing in measurable chunks. Okay, growing you do this and sit comfortably there for a little bit. Okay, get the feelers out, really feel strong where you are, and then move to the next stage. Oftentimes, we're running to try and get ahead, we're chasing something. Okay, and so because of that, the fear and the overwhelm of what we're chasing causes the imposter syndrome to kick in, and we start feeling small, feeling stressed. If you're feeling anxious, or if you're feeling depressed from feeling inadequate, again, this is all stemmed in imposter syndrome. All right. Now, the whole purpose of this session was to get you to begin to be aware of the self sabotaging things that we have going on in our businesses presently. Okay. These things that are showing up in our mind, but we are projecting to something else. If you have focused in on strategy, and what do I mean by strategy? I mean, if you have looked at things like, sales processes, if you have looked at Facebook ads, if you've tried building complicated funnels, if you've tried attraction marketing, if you've tried all of these things, really gone deep into strategy and you haven't got the results that you want, it's now time to start thinking outside of the box. And that's why I'm a very, very strong believer, especially within my program, and why I'm talking about this subject right now, is because I believe a lot of people join programs and they fail, not because the strategy was wrong, but because the mindset that was needed to run those strategies wasn't there. Okay, so they lacked consistency. Fear of rejection stopped them from applying the techniques correctly. And maybe you're in that position too. Maybe you've experienced that. And the thing is, you move from one program to the next program to the next program. But what the reality of the situation is, you've not got anyone in those programs that is helping you to work on your mindset. And this is where fundamentally my program stands out against everybody else's program, because I recognize this. And I want you to be able to recognize this. This discussion that we've had, you now need to start sitting down and really thinking about what is a sabotage, because it strategy will only take you so far. And what you need to work out, especially when you're moving into going into a program, you want to understand whether or not there's strategy, which you need, but you also need the mindset to balance it out. And what you have to work out is, does that particular coach have the ability to help me with my mindset so that I've got that equal balance and that equilibrium? And if not, and if you don't have the ability to work with your mindset, or if you don't get the mindset support, this is where you are sabotaging your business time and time again. So what I want to do next time we have our Business Booster live stream, this is going to be like a bit of a continuation. I'm going to take you through a guided meditation, okay? And I'm going to begin to look at these things, like the imposter syndrome, the fear of failure, and begin to help you to start releasing those shackles, because they are shackles that are binding you. And the worst thing about it is, it's stealth. You can't see it, right? You can see when you put money into ad spend, and you can see that you don't get the result. Okay, you can see when you put a post out there and people are not commenting and you don't get the response that you want back. But your mindset is not something that you can see, and oftentimes it comes out through what you say. And this is why having a coach which understands this stuff is so crucial, right? I want to share something with you in regards to what I feel coaching's about. And this is something that I want you to really think about when you are implementing your coaching. I believe that everybody has everything that they need inside of them to get a result. I 150% believe that. But I also believe that there is a divide between the subconscious mind, I like to call it the high conscious mind, and the conscious mind. The conscious mind being the mind that we experience the world through. And our higher conscious knows instinctively what we need to get the result that we want. And oftentimes it will be allowing us to, but what it recognizes is, in order for you to experience that, because we can't necessarily tap into the high conscious and hear it speak to us, let's say, you have intuition, but in terms of it telling you what to do, it understands that you need to experience whatever it is that you're going through the conscious mind. So what it will do is it will allow things to slip out in your language, in your behavior, in the way that you are applying yourself. And what you want as a coach is for someone to sit and to observe those patterns of behaviors coming through and to listen to what your subconscious mind is saying. And then what they need to do, or what I feel as coaches we need to do alongside strategy, is that we need to then package that information up and we need to present it, hold a mirror back to you, let's say, so that you can hear what your subconscious mind is trying to get across. When the conscious mind and the subconscious mind come onto the same page, you release the blockages and you have liftoff. And that's what I feel as one of the predominant practices needs to be from a coach's perspective. They need to be able to listen, be present, and hear and see and witness what's going on, and then feed that back to you in order for you to begin to get the mindset shift. All right. So as I said, in our next Business Booster live stream, we are going to go through a guided meditation. I'm going to take you deep. And I'm going to begin to help you to begin to release some of these things that are holding you back. And if you have enjoyed, okay, what I have shared with you this far, if you've got some breakthrough, I would love to offer you the opportunity to have an impartial 15-minute call with me. Let's have a discussion. Let's see whether or not face to face, specifically with what's going on for you, whether or not your mindset is sabotaging your business right now, what needs to be done to help you to balance that equilibrium. As I said, it's got no obligation to buy from me whatsoever. But if you feel that you know that you need to be doing something different, because doing the same thing and expecting a different result is the first sign of madness. If you are trying and trying and trying and you are not getting the results that you want, another thing that I hear a lot, people telling me that they've got a coach. If you've got a coach and you're not getting the result that you want, then it's like being on a Titanic ship, knowing that it's about to crash and not doing anything about it. There comes a time when you then have to just say, I've got to now move to the next thing because this clearly isn't working. And if they don't have the skills to help you with your mindset, this can be one of the reasons. So as I said, I want to give you the opportunity to have a 15-minute chat with me. Just put 15-minute below in this video. And either myself or a member of my team will get back to you. And let's have the conversation. I mean, why not? Why would we not have the conversation? Why would you not take up the opportunity to have a fresh pair of eyes to look at what's going on for you and maybe give you a different perspective, especially if you found anything that I've said today useful and if you've resonated with it. All right, so that brings us to the end of that Business Booster live stream. Guys, I went on for a long one. I can see that some of you have stayed with me. Well done, you, right? Well done for that, because this stuff isn't easy and it shows that you are willing to do whatever it takes to get the result. And I've really, really enjoyed the fact that I've been able to share this information with you, so much so that I've gone 15 minutes over my usual time. All right, so until I see you next week, please have an amazing rest of your week. Continue to win at life. And as I said, next week we'll go through a deep guided meditation where I'm going to help you to begin to let go of some of these things. All right, don't forget, comment 15 minutes below if you want your 15-minute call, and we can take it from there. Until next time, take care, guys.